So I've chopped up 7 leeks already, so I'm just going to show you how to prepare your leeks. So you slice down the middle, and again, so your leek is in 4 parts. You can see your leeks have got a bit of dirt from where they've been growing. So I'm just going to run that under the tap to get rid of the dirt, clean them out. Right, nice clean leeks. I'm now going to chop that up. Down to the end. And then I've melted a good knob of butter. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you can quite easily use some olive oil, but I've chosen to use butter because it has added flavour. So I've got all those leeks in there. This will make about 12 servings of soup, and I'm just going to gently soften these on the alga. So whilst the leeks are softening in the saucepan, I'm just going to cut up my potatoes. So I've actually used 4 very large potatoes, but you could easily use 8 smaller potatoes. So I've got a flat surface on the chopping board, and I'm going to come across. So I've got nice small diced pieces of potato. It's particularly important to make sure you have the potatoes a nice even size if you're not going to liquidize your soup. If you're liquidizing your soup, it's not quite so crucial. So there's the potatoes, and we'll add those to our leeks. So you can hear that the leeks are starting to sizzle away. They haven't taken on any colour, but they've softened and reduced down a little bit. So I'm now going to add the potatoes. I'm going to let those soften for a few minutes as well. I'm going to add some pepper at this point. That's all nicely mixed through, and then I'll just pop the lid on for another 3 minutes and let the potatoes just soften slightly before I add the stock. So this is all nicely warmed through, so now I'm going to add my stock. I've actually got about 4 pints of ham liquor that I cooked some gammon in. Which just adds a nice bit of bacony flavour to your soup. If you're vegetarian, obviously you can use vegetable stock or chicken stock if you want any sort of stock you like. If you have any leftover mashed potato or vegetables, particularly green vegetables, I tend to put those into my soup as well. Obviously the leek and potato is the main flavour, but it's a good way of using up leftovers. So I'm just going to put the lid on to bring that up to the boil. Then I'm going to put that in my simmering oven of my Aga for 45 minutes until the potatoes are soft. But you would just turn down your heat and simmer it on top for 45 minutes if you have a conventional cooker. The leek and potato soup has been simmering for 45 minutes. And it's nice and obviously hot, steamy hot. And if you get a chunk of potatoes and push it against the side of the pan, it breaks and it's cooked through. So it's either ready to eat as it is, if you like, this is how you like your soup, or you can liquidize it at this point. So the leek and potato soup is now liquidized. I'm just going to taste it for seasoning. And I don't need to add any salt or anything to that because I've used ham stock, which in itself is quite salty. So it's perfect with the amount of pepper I put in. But if you're using vegetable stock or chicken stock, if you feel it needs a bit more salt, this is the point to adjust your seasoning. So I'm going to serve this. It's a nice thick soup. My daughter takes this to school with her. You've got a portion of vegetables in there and your potato for starch. And I'm going to garnish mine as it's got ham stock with a few chunks of ham.